Hello everybody, today I'm going to be reading August 27th entry from Hope for Today, Courage to Change, and One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. August 27th is on page 240. For some time I had difficulty detaching. When I tried it, my focus shifted to me, and I had a hard time just being with myself. I began to understand that my skill in detaching rested on my ability to accept my own thoughts and feelings, and to become comfortable with myself. As I felt accepted in Al-Anon, I grew in self-acceptance, which gave me courage to practice detachment. I tried it with the active drinker. When my spouse went drinking after work and was late for dinner, the kids and I ate and went to an early movie. I didn't stay home waiting with anger and bitterness. When someone struggled with a dilemma at work, I learned to offer my experience and then to let go of whether the person tried my ideas. I didn't lose my focus or productivity by taking over someone else's problem. Then I began detaching from my alcoholic parent as well as the sober one. When they argued, I learned to say, "I'm sure you'll find a creative solution," and then leave the room. To increase my self-care options, I rented a car when I visited them. If one of them tried to draw me into a disagreement, I got in the car and drove somewhere safe until I could calm myself enough to return. Now, with lots of practice, I find it easier and easier to detach. The more I detach, the more time I get to know, accept, and spend time with a really wonderful person. Me. Thought for the day. Detaching from others and getting to know myself go hand in hand. Quote, "Because my fate, my very life, was no longer tied directly to theirs, I was able to accept them for who they were, and to listen to their ideas and concerns without trying to exercise control." That is from Courage to Change, page 199. That quote, at least. So I like this reading about detachment on Hope for Today. It's super, what a relief always reading these, um, these entries about detachment. Because I know probably a lot of people of the human race have attachment issues. So yeah, detaching with love, it was a new concept to me when I came into Al-Anon. So moving on to Courage to Change, August 27, page 240. At my first Al-Anon meeting, I was disappointed when I was given the 12 steps instead of a do's and don'ts list for changing the alcoholic. Nevertheless, I was desperate enough to give the steps a try anyway. At my second Al-Anon meeting, I thought I had those first 3 steps down pretty well. I knew I was powerless, I believed in God, and I was willing to dump my problems onto anyone who would take them. As I continued to attend meetings, I began to see that I wasn't really admitting my powerlessness, or I wouldn't keep trying to control everyone and everything around me. Okay, so I skipped the part about letting go and letting God. Today, I am so glad to have a patient God, so that when I finally say, "Not my will, but your will," God steps in and sorts things out in ways I never would have imagined. The first 3 steps aren't as easy as I once thought, but in Al-Anon I've learned to aim for progress, not perfection. Today's reminder: when I was dealing with alcoholism without the help of Al-Anon, I developed coping skills. These are no longer enough. Al-Anon is teaching me a new and better set of skills. I will try to be patient with myself. I'm doing fine. Quote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Seneca. That's by Seneca. Yeah, this is a really great reading about powerlessness. Progress, not perfection. I like that. Coping skills. And I would also like to quote, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Alright. Moving on to One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. August 27, page 240 again. An interesting exercise and one well worth a few moments of reflection would be to consider the exact meaning of the phrase "to take offense." These words describe an act of willingly taking into ourselves a hurt we feel somebody intended to inflict on us. We take offense. We don't have to take it. We are free to refuse to be hurt by a spiteful remark or malicious action. So the whole matter really rests with us. The choice of accepting or rejecting an offense is ours alone. Today's reminder. It may not be easy at first, but if I keep reminding myself that I will not permit myself to be hurt by what anyone says or does, it can bring about an amazing change in my attitude and disposition. Whenever I feel I am being hurt by someone, I will silently refuse to take offense, or take any action to retaliate. What a relief it will be to have such incidents vanish into thin air, leaving not a mark on me. I will not accept offense. What can words do to me unless I take them to heart? Excuse me. So, wow, I've never read this one before. We take offense. We don't have to take it. We are free to refuse to be hurt by a spiteful remark or malicious action. So the whole matter really rests with us. Whoa, that is so freeing. I love how these readings are just, words really have that way when put in the correct context, together with other words and the good perspective. It's definitely a brush of serenity. Thank you all for reading these with me, and I hope you subscribe and read with me in the future. I try to post as often as I could possibly, trying to pass along the Al-Anon message to those that cannot make it to any meetings. But I do strongly recommend going to meetings, getting a sponsor, and working the steps. Thank you, and have a safe day. Bye-bye.